Representative Burleson says that UFOs might be angels. So does a former astronaut, also talking about the religious aspects of the UFO phenomenon. This seems to be coming up a lot lately as UFO disclosure bubbles to the surface inexorably, because it is going to happen, guys. And so people are trying to see it through their own lens. But could there be some truth to it? Well, let's dive into this subject. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, Burleson on UFOs. They're either angels or man-made. I have a hard time buying the idea that alien species is technologically capable to reach nearly the speed of light, travel trillions of miles or more, and it gets here and somehow it's incapable of navigating the Earth's atmosphere, he says. So, because of his observations or deductions, he believes the only possibilities are that, yeah, we made it, or it's coming from some higher realm. They're angels. So that is his interpretation of events, that these are likely angels. And could they be? Meanwhile, Glenn Beck asked former astronaut Charlie Duke about UFOs, and here is his interesting response.
In UFOs, alien life?
No, I don't believe in alien life. I believe that there are. God showed me a specific answer to two prayers, that they're demonic, and that they're demonic beings that make an appearance and appear to be real, and they are real. Satan, Bible says Satan can appear as an angel of light. So they can appear, and so nothing human can make a 90-degree turn at 3,000 miles an hour and survive. And so they have these, and I think the purpose is to draw you away from the real God and say, look at us, and this is where you ought to be, because we are superhuman and we can do it. So
now, far be it for me to question Charlie Duke. The man has been to the moon, but surely there are other interpretations to UFOs than angels or demons. Surely, right? Well, many of you are familiar with the Jimmy Carter story, President Jimmy Carter, who saw an alien. Well, there is a story that he was given the briefing about UFOs, and that secrets were revealed to him that made him break down and cry. And there is a story about the answer as to what that was that made him cry. So let's dig into it just a little bit. This is, the incident of Jimmy Carter crying after being briefed about classified information is largely believed to be true by the serious researchers on the subject. As a forewarning, the following information is very unsettling and will explain why Carter never kept his promise of revealing classified UFO information to the public. According to the story that was corroborated by more than one witness, U.S. presidents are only given a cursory overview of this subject. And by the way, this information is coming to us from Ed Harris, a former NASA researcher. So what was Jimmy Carter shown and told? He was told that the major religions, including Christianity, were programs created by ETs to prevent us from destroying ourselves while they ran their experiments on us, and that they made us. At this moment, it became clear to Carter that such information could cause tremendous economic and social upheaval. So yeah, that's the story that Ed Harris tells, former NASA researcher Ed Harris. And do I buy it? I buy that he said it, but no, I don't buy that Jimmy Carter was given correct information, if indeed this is true. I mean, think about it. This is information that he was given that caused him to forestall UFO disclosure. So this information controlled his actions and prevented transparency. Might this information have been geared toward that purpose? In other words, maybe he was told some whoppers. But, who knows? Because there is actually some corroborative information I have to support something like that. There is, of course, the Our Lady of Fatima sighting, which many of you will be familiar with. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but just to give you a taste of it. Beginning in the spring of 1916, 3 shepherd children reported 3 apparitions of an angel in Vilnius. Then on May 13th, 6 apparitions of the Blessed Virgin Mary were reported. The children described her as a lady more brilliant than the sun. The children reported a prophecy that prayer would lead to an end to the Great War, and that on 13 October that year, the lady would reveal her identity and perform a miracle so that all may believe. And there was a miracle. There was the miracle of the sun. The whole thing is a very long and involved story and probably deserves a standalone video on its own. And many of you are probably already familiar with the Lady of Fatima's story. It's a really amazing story. I did see a remote viewing of this incident that suggested that it was some UFO tricksters trying to manipulate and play with people. Is that an accurate remote viewing? I have no way of knowing, but I thought I would share this with you because if that remote viewing is accurate, then it would be an example of UFOs manipulating people based on religion. And then, of course, there's Tom DeLonge. I've shared this before, but it's definitely worth repeating, and it's very relevant to this topic.
Man, you won't even fucking believe it. I'll tell you that. You want to hear
Please.
it? Atlantis.
Atlantis, the sunken city?
Yeah.
There's a connection?
There's a connection.
What's the connection?
That there's a very advanced group that left after a catastrophe and hung around in a small outpost here and throughout time would push civilization forward, and that's who the Greek gods were.
Whoa.
Yep. And that's why it's very interesting when the Roswell wreckage, there's Greek writing.
Is there?
There is.
So there you go, another example of a connection between UFOs and religion. Were the Greek gods actually aliens or higher dimensional beings or something of that sort? Were they higher dimensional beings posing as gods or manipulating people based on their belief in gods? Did that have something to do with Atlantis? I don't know, but Tom has brought this up again and again, this idea of the Greek gods being real in the sense of them being non-humans. There's also this to consider. This is from Jack Sephardi, a theoretical physicist whose early career is chronicled in the award-winning book, How the Hippies Saved Physics. I love that title. Sephardi was the leader of the California-based Physics Consciousness Research Group, financed during the 70s by the U.S. DoD. Jack has spent several decades on the theory behind applications of quantum entanglement to conscious AI and the low energy metric engineering. So so a really interesting guy, and his career has he's crossed paths with the likes of Hal Puthoff and so on. So let's hear a little bit of what the man has to say.
Back in the 1930s, on all this rocket stuff, JATO, they started. What is this? Aerojet General, the JATO?
Aerojet, yeah.
Yeah, Aerojet.
Yeah, there's actually a big Aerojet base. It's abandoned now in South Florida.
Yeah. This is all Frank Molina and Jack Parsons. And Jack Parsons was financing Aleister Crowley. And L. Ron Hubbard was, I think they knew L. Ron Hubbard. I knew people, some of the people who supported me worked with L. Ron Hubbard and Pajari. They were all these, plus it's a science fiction, Walter Breen. All these guys knew each other. It's a small world.
Why are all these guys so? Why are they
they're
so?
All intelligence. They're all part of the OSS, that sort of stuff.
But why are they so into the occult?
Well,
and all this angels and demons type stuff.
Well, Jacques, that's why they are. That's good. Okay, short answer. Because angels and demons of the Bible are real. They are the extraterrestrial time travelers. Okay, that's why. So it's all real. All the stories in the Bible are real. They're based on. They're not. It's like. They're distorted, but all the stuff, angels and demons, Paradise Lost, John Milton and Lucifer and Satan is real. They're all real. These are high. The Greek gods are real. The Egyptian gods, all that stuff, Stargate, they're all coming back. It's all true. These are all time. Okay,
It's all true, and they're coming back, according to Jack Sephardi. So, what do you guys think? Is the ancient alien theory correct? Are there higher beings or non-human beings that have been here for a long time that we have interpreted as gods? Or might some of them be beings from a higher dimension that could well be interpreted in a religious or spiritual context? And then, of course, there's Chris Bledsoe and the lady, who may be some incarnation of the divine feminine. She has represented herself or hinted that she may be the goddess Hathor, but she may also be something else as well. And she cured Chris of Crohn's disease. She has given a prophecy that there's going to be some major thing involving disclosure or contact occurring in the next few years. She also granted Chris the ability to heal people. Now, when Chris heals people, he doesn't call upon the lady. He prays to Christ. He's very religious. He's a Christian man. And even though he has encountered what may or may not be a goddess of another religion, he still prays to Jesus, and he gets results. He saved people's lives through his healing prayers. I myself have experienced the healing of traditional shamanic beliefs, and I've also experienced a UFO in conjunction with shamanic beliefs and also with Jesus. Check out my video, my Jesus Ayahuasca UFO video, and you'll see what I mean. So things get really blurry and funky. There's healing, there's contact, there's love that people experience. I have another friend that encountered an angelic being, and there are many stories like that seem to indicate some level of reality to these metaphysical beings that are interacting with us in a goodly and benevolent way. There are so many stories about people being taken by beings, for example, and being taught how to heal or read minds or learn about their chakras or their auras. I shared a remote viewing not long ago about a remote viewer that remote viewed the Tic Tac incident from 2004 and encountered a being, the intelligence responsible for that particular phenomenon, supposedly, according to one remote viewer. And again, take it with a grain of salt. It's just one remote viewer. However, he's a really good remote viewer. But he encountered a being that was teaching him about chakras. So it's so weird. There's such a blend of the mystical and the spiritual, the metaphysical with the UFO reality. But there is also a trickster element involved in some of this as well. And you can't entirely dismiss that. And of course, there's also the element of co-creation. How we seem to co-create many of these UFO events. And I know that was especially true in my case. Again, check out my Jesus Ayahuasca UFO video, where it was directly interacting with my consciousness, and the UFO was answering a question that I had from a month ago during an ayahuasca retreat. And it was corroborating a really amazing experience that I had. So really weird, but yeah, I was in a way co-creating that event. It was, I don't think anybody else could have seen that UFO. It was for me, and it was answering a question that I had. And many, many other examples, people seem to be co-creating these UFO experiences. It is interacting with our consciousness. And there are many other channels that talk about this as well. Engaging the Phenomenon and others will talk about how we co-create UFO contacts, especially during things like CE5. So it's possible that there's a wide range of phenomena going on. To wrap it up, I think there is a wide range of phenomena going on. There are beings outside of humanity that are acting upon us, but it also seems to be the case that we co-create these experiences as well. So I can only encourage you guys because I want everybody to have positive experiences, and I want our UFO disclosure to go smoothly and positively. I want the age of Aquarius to be pretty cool instead of pretty uncool. So let's keep our vibes high. Let's be positive. Let's be loving. Let's approach the phenomenon and each other with love and openness. And hopefully we will together co-create a better tomorrow. That's it for me for today, guys, but I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. That'd be super groovy. And if you could share this video, that'd be great too. If you wanted to support the channel in a bigger way, there's a PayPal button below, or become a channel member. That would be awesome. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.